Keep today's records clean. File your returns today.
Uganda Revenue Authority. Developing Uganda together.
Wait, Abu. And what are you doing throwing papers all over the place?
I'm looking for an invoice for a sound system and cables that I received yesterday, but I can't find it.
You know there is a way of keeping all this in one place and available to you as and when you need it.
I really wish there was one, because the way these invoices grow legs and disappear.
I believe this is what you're looking for.
Now how did it get there?
Tabo! Do you know that with EFRIS, you can stay on track of all your business transactions and improve on your record keeping?
How so?
Katituliku computer with EFRIS. I just search using the fiscal document number and I retrieve the records I'm looking for. Bookkeeping becomes simple after that.
Kapo, awesome, yeah.
I began using URS Kakasa Solutions and now I'm in charge of my business. And you can as well.
Kakasa, be sure you are in charge of your business.
Uganda Revenue Authority. Developing Uganda together.
That's my little angel Rose. Together with millions of other children, my daughter Rose is assured of learning something new every day. Moses, my husband, just like many other commercial farmers, has his business supported so he can provide for us. When my other little one was on the way, even with my pregnancy complications, it was a quick, smooth ride to Mulago Specialized Women and Neonatal Hospital. Also, my new baby was able to make it through his first days with the help of specialized equipment thanks to the reliable electricity which has also been extended throughout the country. All this and more has been made possible because of you.
Join us and together let's do more for our country. Get your free tin at www.ura.go.ug.
Thank you for paying your taxes.
Uganda Revenue Authority. Developing Uganda together.
Kapo, you seem to be in a hurry. Where are you going to?
I'm gonna pay.
Happy New Year to you all. We thank the Lord for a new day today, and we thank the Lord for a gift of life. We want to appreciate each of you for paying taxes so that we're able to develop Uganda. And it's from your taxes that Ugandans are able to access services and amenities. My name is Prila Tusime and I'll be your host today. We want to thank each of you for making time to be part of this discussion today, the Tuesday, the 18th of January 2020. We are hopeful that this information will help you to know how best to access URA services and make the obligation for paying taxes more easier and more friendly. Our topic this morning is the improved management of exports. At URA, among other reviews and other reforms that we are doing, is the management of exports to make sure that it's more effective, more efficient, the processes are cost effective, and the clearance times are improved. We are very cognizant of the fact that these aspects determine the export earnings and then subsequently the balance of payments for Uganda. In our previous webinar that we had 2 weeks ago, we told you that Uganda and the ESC partner states operate under a single customs territory framework. And in that framework, our business processes are similar in the region. And so you'll find that our customs business processes are similar with Kenya, with Tanzania, with Rwanda and Burundi, and Southern Sudan is not yet on for now, but we are working towards it. And under the single customs territory framework, our systems are interfaced, and so we are able to share information on real-time basis with all the partner states revenue authorities and the port authorities of both Dar es Salaam and Mombasa. And also we told you that URA and the other partner states has deployed staff at the ports of Mombasa and Dar es Salaam and other intra-EAC stations like Nairobi, Naivasha, and Western Kenya. That is where our fuel, bulk of our fuel comes from. That is Eldoret, Kisumu, and Nakuru. And so we are able to work together very closely because our systems are interfaced and we exchange information on a real-time basis to inform the clearance of cargo and quick decision making. With me in the studio is team of panelists that are customs experts in the process of exports management. And I want to introduce them right now. We have Mr. Edmund Rutebemberwa, who is our supervisor in the warehousing section. Edmund, you're welcome.
Thank you.
We have Mr. William Ahimbisiwe. Mr. William Ahimbisiwe is the supervisor in charge of the exports section in the customs department. William, you're welcome.
Thank you, Brenda.
And with me, we also have Mr. Simon Esunget. Mr. Esunget is our supervisor in Nairobi, and he oversees the stations of Nairobi, Naivasha, and Western Kenya, where our fuel comes from.
Thank you, Prela.
Yes.
Good morning, viewers.
Yes, we also have Thomas Ategeka. Thomas Ategeka is online from the port of Mombasa. So dear clients, you're very welcome. Before we start, I will request you to share this link widely with your business colleagues, with the community, with potential exporters, so that everyone is able to benefit from this webinar. And I also request you to send in your questions through the Q&A page, and we commit that each question will be answered during this discussion. I want to start with William. William is our supervisor in charge of exports. William, what is the picture of Uganda's exports right now, and why the enhanced focus right now in improving the management of exports at URA? William, talk to us.
Thank you, our moderator this morning, and good morning to the viewers. Like the moderator has guided, I will specifically talk about what an export is, what guides us as URA in terms of the legal framework in the management of the exports, and why is there focus on exports right now. I know that we have been managing exports, but there is increased focus, and I will explain why. I will briefly mention some of the items in which we are trading best, and the areas that the URA is improving to ensure that there is a better facilitation for our exports before my colleagues come on. And to kickstart it, just as a reminder, I know that many people understand what an export is, but just as a reminder to those who could be hearing this for the first time or who would wonder what is an export, I would say an export is where goods or services that are produced in one country are sold or transferred from the country of origin to a buyer in a country of import or a country of destination. To put it a bit more graphically, it's simply to say, for instance, if you have goods made in Uganda, sold to a buyer who is non-Ugandan, and I will use a close neighbor, say a Kenyan buyer, and the goods are moved from Uganda to the partner state of Kenya, we would comfortably call that an export. So as long as there is a sale for export, or a sale for a movement from our country of origin to a partner country or a partner state or another destination, then we can comfortably say that we are carrying out the business of export. And at this particular moment, I want to emphasize that the movement does not have to be a long haul. That even if you are at the border of Busia and you are crossing goods from Busia, Uganda to Busia, Kenya, you are actually in the business of exporting. I just want to highlight that as URA, we have laws that govern our business. But specifically in the customs business, we predominantly rely on a number of laws, the commonest of which many know as the East African Community Customs Management Act. That's where we derive a lot of the frameworks within which we operate the business of customs per se. Of course, alongside the other global frameworks such as the World Customs Organization, the World Trade Organization frameworks that guide the international movement of goods and the like. But specifically to make it easy, the East African Community Customs Management Act is well known to many, and this is where we derive a lot of the authority within which we operate. And for the exports, specifically under Section 2, the reason why exports. I know we have had another webinar before on exports, and this is a follow-up webinar, and we are going to have many others because this is the business of customs, trade facilitation. And the reason why exports right now is that the country, as Uganda, is putting a lot of emphasis on mobilization. If you chanced to have read the National Development Plan, the current one is the National Development Plan 3. Again, the goal is clear. There is a goal for import substitution and increase. We have cocoa as one of our other top exports. And then cement comes thereabouts in number 3 position. And the data I'm looking at is not for a long time. We are using data for basically 1 quarter. But even though you analyze the data for the entire year, you realize that the difference in terms of the positioning of the exports per se will not change much apart from flipping from position to position. But coffee, cocoa, cement, we have the cooking oil, palm-oil in scientific terms, as they call it. I know that we know it as cooking oil. We have black tea, and the list continues. I know we have steel and all other exports that we carry out. Though for purposes of this particular moment, we just have highlighted just a few of the top exports that we are seeing in this. To improve the management of exports. And one of the areas is enhancing preferential treatment for exporters. Preferential treatment is extremely key because we need to be able to ensure that your exports hit the road when you want them to hit the road, or they are on the plane when you want them on the plane, or they are on the ship at the time you booked the ship. Because the faster we get the exports into the market, the faster we are able to earn as a country. And so we are doing preferential treatment, and one of the measures that has been done by URA, for example, is that a specific unit is in place to ensure that there is monitoring, there is facilitation, and there is appropriate facilitation for every exporter. We continue to have the issue of standards, enforcing standards in the management of exports, and this time we are talking about the standards in which we serve you, and that is why we are looking at matters of clearance time. We have previously said for every export we should be able to handle within less than 2 hours or within less than 6 hours to ensure that goods are cleared and move appropriately within the standard body that is issuing the preferential certificates of origin. And they are part of the prerequisite documentation for purposes of export. So URA still ensures that we are doing quick acquisition of preferential certificates of origin for all exporters. So if you are out there and you want to export, please do not hesitate to reach us, and we will be able to facilitate you as quickly as possible to obtain these certificates of origin, especially where you are going to be given preferential treatment upon arrival in the export market. In the same vein, we are putting a lot of emphasis in facilitation of free trade zones and industrial parks. You know, for example, that if you are in the Liaoxian Industrial Park in Kapeka, we already have a fully established office with officers who are there to ensure that there is a facilitation of every item that for export that is coming out of that industrial park. And this is a plan for every industrial park, for those which are coming up. Of course, the number of industrial park right here is close to us at heart, and the facilitation is on ground, and everybody is being facilitated. But even for the free trade zones and the other industrial parks that are coming on board, the arrangements are in high gear to ensure that everybody that requires facilitation in those specific trade promotion areas will obtain it as and when it is required. Closely related to the free trade zones is the under the manufacturing under bond facility. And I know somebody out there is going to ask, what is manufacturing under bond? If I can quickly explain, we have a specific category of traders who wish to import raw materials, produce goods, and produce them for export almost entirely. So there is an opportunity for a person out there who wants such a trade arrangement, which we call manufacturing under bond. So you bring in your imports in form of raw materials. You can add up other raw materials which are locally sourced and manufacture goods under a guarantee, a bond guarantee. I think it's a CB6 to be specific, so that you are able to have your production without paying taxes, and then you can export all your goods. The little that you may not export, then of course the taxes are due and payable, as in the arrangement that is explained to you when you seek for the authorization for use of the manufacturing under bond. So this is an opportunity for promotion of export. You bring in raw materials, export those produced goods, and this integrator is for promotion of local industry, growth of the local industry. I'll give you an example. Hydrant skins. Because of the need to try and limit the export of raw hydrant skins, and the need to encourage tanning and the entire leather industry, government levies a specific amount of duty to ensure that people are more attracted into value ensuring that the leather industry at home can grow. That's why there's that the tariff restriction, if I may call it. Of course, you cannot eliminate the fact that as a tax collection body, some of the levies will definitely improve our revenue mobilization.
My cargo delivered in the shortest time, which processes should I follow so that I can be able to move on? Currently, like William has just said, customs, whatever you do in customs, you follow all processes and procedures. You don't skip any process, so that the communication is every done from customs to DT. And in case of any refunds or claims of any sort, so you have to take on the processes, the regimes, the procedures, and how quickly or seamlessly can I facilitate my export business. Export processes and regimes are categorized under single customs territory. This is single customs territory, we shall elaborate, and non-single customs territory, we shall equally elaborate. Under single customs territory export process, we have there two regimes. We have what we call ST8. Those are direct bonded export out of partner states to non-partner states, of course. Then we have transfers. We commonly call them C2. These are transfers which are within the region. You could be transferring your cargo from Uganda to Kenya, to Rwanda, to Burundi. We have there ES1 and SE1. These are regimes basically which are meant for cross-border trade business alongside the borders. As we shall go into details, you'll be able to understand how each works and how effective